Big Mom's house. Big Mama's house. Welcome to Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Yeah. Big Mama's house. Welcome to Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Yeah.
Welcome back to Big Mama's house, y'all. Mama and Papa are here again to go over Welcome to Plathville. This is season 3, episode 4.
Howdy, y'all.
Howdy indeed. My goodness. I told you, I promised you that they get a little crazy fast, and I don't think I have misled you thus far.
No.
Okay.
No.
So,
Still waiting for the fisticuffs.
you think there's gonna be?
Could be.
Between who?
I don't know. But there's coming a boiling point with Ethan and whoever is around him by the time.
You think he's a
time.
kettle that's about to blow?
Think so.
Okay. Well, it starts out with
have to.
Ika. Ika, oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, you guys. Micah.
Ethan and Micah together.
That's me and my pea brain not being able to, focus on my own words. Going to a addiction coach.
Yes.
That his agent set up for him for his acting. And
that part's kind of boring.
No, but it shows he's really, really invested, and he actually practices and things, and
he's talented.
And I think that's good for him to be able to branch out to things beyond what Olivia quote unquote did for him.
So now, being as sheltered as he was when he was a kid,
yeah,
he's really coming to his own and adapting to the environment really, really quick.
Yeah, and so is Mariah, and so is Ethan. Well, Ethan is adapting as much as he wants to.
Yeah.
He knows what he likes, and that's where he stays. And that's okay for some. I mean, if that's who you are, be that person.
Yeah.
I'm you know me, I'm a home person. I don't I like to travel once in a while. I'd travel a lot more if I could, physically. But we're homebodies.
Yeah.
This is where we belong.
Sometimes it's we have to be homebodies.
Yeah, but still, it's no, we're also a little bit older. Okay, we're in our 40s, so it's a different situation.
Yeah, we're not 20 anymore.
And then Kim made a website for the farm as a wedding venue, and she was showing it to Lydia. I mean, obviously they have other real estate that they they're landlords and things like that.
Yeah.
But the fact that Kim taught herself, I guess, she admits that Olivia first taught her how to do it, but she did this one on her own. And I think it's really good that she's able to branch out too, because she's also stuck back then. She was trapped there too. And yes, trapped by her own decisions. But again, when you're pregnant and or nursing and have a bus full of children, you don't get out much,
Yep.
So I think that's really good for her. And then, oh my gosh, Lydia and this mystery boy that they met at the family homeschool conference several years ago. And we know he lives several states away. And Lydia knows the parents have their best interests at heart. And so while she's living in their home, she respects their authority there. But she knows, as she even said, it's not going to be forever. So she knows, yes, she's a good girl. She listens. She knows that, she needs to obey her parents. But that's not who Lydia is. So watch out, world.
Well, the more that they keep her away from him, the more she's going to want him. Also.
That is sometimes what happens with young people.
Yes.
You always want what you can't have.
Absence makes the heart grow very, very much fonder.
It did with us.
Yep. I mean, we saw each other a lot, though.
No, I'm talking about when you went away for Christmas and stuff. But anyway.
Many years ago.
And then Ethan and Olivia, they say constantly argue about packing and moving. And then he walks out and it's like dusk. And he's just had enough. And
I'd give the editors credit. Because they edit which parts.
Everything.
So I don't think it was as bad as what they put together and what we're supposed to think.
Or maybe it was worse.
Maybe, but I don't know. I just think we missed something there.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
the speculations, the
Yep.
things you could think. And that's why they do it. You know, they want people to talk.
Yep.
Um,
Now there are issues with Ethan and Olivia.
well, yeah, everyone knows
Yeah,
that.
and they're not getting any better to this point.
Despite how they keep saying they take steps forward, and
I don't see any steps forward.
it's like, but every episode they're like, oh, we're taking little steps forward.
I don't see it.
Me either. This just think it's worse.
Unless it's off camera, which we don't see.
Right. And then Ethan is over at Mike and Mariah's house, and he's helping her with her little at-home studio on a computer thing. And we find out that he's a copier service tech, which is interesting.
I made of many things.
Because again, he has no technological training, but he's very, very smart when it comes to mechanical things. So it doesn't take much for him to transfer that knowledge to today's machinery. Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, if we're talking about things like with like computers and electronics, things like that, that's a different story. But
well, that'll also help him with today's cars too, because a lot of them are computer.
Yes,
operated
unfortunately,
chips. Yep.
That's probably why he loves the old ones.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So much.
That's why my grandpa loved the old ones when he was a mechanic.
Well, Grandpa had no other choice but to have the old ones.
True. Well, but even when I was a kid, he still preferred the ones from like the 50s, 60s, 70s. And then Mariah, as he's working on the computer, you know how he tends to be have an intense focus on whatever he's doing at the moment. And she's just chattering away, trying to make jokes and small talk and cheer him up. And like he doesn't even hear her. He's so used to the
He forgot it was his sister talking and not his wife.
Yeah, and he was just like, oh, and then all he heard was wow, 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 wow.
But he was on actually the phone, I believe, with Olivia, right?
Well, and I was just gonna say, also at the exact same time, Olivia, knowing that's where he's at, what he's doing, constantly was texting him, and I'm just like,
she really needs to move on quick. I know, everybody knows what's going to happen, who's been keeping up with it from season 1 before I have, okay? But they both need to just move on from each other.
They both seem very unhappy.
Yeah, and I don't think Olivia was ever going to be happy with Ethan.
And poor Ethan said that he feels like he'll never be happy again. He's like, I know it will happen again someday, but I don't feel like I'll ever be happy again. And I'm just like, from the joyful guy a year and a half, 2 years ago to this, and his parents have not even been in his life.
They didn't even go in the driveway.
And he's so miserable. I mean, obviously, maybe it's not the parents that are the problem. I'm just saying.
Maybe that's why he stopped going to the counselor, because the counselor's probably trying to tell him, look, maybe it's the parents, it's not the problem.
Right, and maybe he's like, nope, can't hear that.
Yep. I need my chopsticks.
And then, so, I call Eminem.
Yeah.
Micah, Mariah, and Max.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ethan and Olivia decided to go roller skating, and of course Olivia set it all up because I guess they thought it was exciting and new, so like this new adventure, because none of them had ever been roller skating.
Well,
but they did have to go all the way to Tallahassee to do this.
Well, Micah, it doesn't look like Micah never roller skated before.
No, he said he was just.
I know, but he got on that. He caught on natural.
But he got also skateboards.
Well, yeah,
and that's
true.
A lot of same balance thing. So
I think that would be harder to roller skate than skateboard.
You would think so. Maybe that's why it was easier for him to pick it up. But Micah and she are driving there together, and they're chatting, and they're talking about how much they have in common. And Micah says that she's adventurous. And I'm just like, don't beware of the Black Widow, Micah. You know, just beware. Be friendly, but
she's saying how much they're both alike and how much, her and Ethan are not.
And how they have so much fun together whenever they do things.
Yeah,
they always have so much to talk about.
Encrypted messages in there.
And then, of course, Mariah and Max still have way too much PDA for poor Micah. He's probably just like, go away, get your own place.
He had a little Coney accent going there in a way.
Right, and they're practicing his different little new accents from his class. And Olivia says again, new things with Ethan improve our relationship. So if they are just living their lives, going to work, coming home together, and just living their normal life, not able to go and do adventure, spontaneous things like every week, like you do for the show, which they're paying for, then, you're not going to be happy. You're not moving forward.
No, and Olivia takes credit for all this.
Well, I know the roller skating thing was her idea. And by setting it up, I'm sure she meant that she let the production company know what they thought would be a good idea. And then the production company, found a skating rink that was willing to be open.
And of course, it's free notoriety.
During COVID.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Again, this is all speculation. Our from the outside looking in, what they show us, this is just our opinion on it. Yeah. Let's see. And then all she thinks about is these new experiences, right? And here's poor Ethan. He's worried about fixing up their house and fixing up his cars, working his job, finding a new place to live, selling their house, moving. I mean, he's thinking, and all she's thinking about is the end goal, the experience. He's thinking about the logistics of making it happen and how all that seems to land on his shoulders.
Now, that we talked about where she said that she's compromised so much stuff for him.
Oh, wait. Hang on.
That's coming up. I laughed.
Yeah, that's right after this, okay?
Yeah.
First, Ethan, he's talking about his job. And he's like, if you don't do anything when you're young, you won't have anything when you're old.
Yeah.
And I think that is so important because some people are like, I'm young, it's time to party and blah, 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 and travel. Dude, no, you're young. You feel good. You got all the energy in the world. You can go balls to the wall for weeks and be fine. Live on 6 hours or 4 hours of sleep and a can of Mountain Dew. We've done it.
Yep.
So do all that shit when you're young, and then when you're
old, can't do it now.
When you're older, like our age, you have the money and the means to travel and take that time whenever you need more of that time off for your physical sake. Anyway, that's just my opinion on that. And then they're in the
They're in the car.
They're in the car together.
This is on the way.
And nitpicking, everything. And then when they get there, I mean, he's so miserable.
Yeah.
He even said, if I could have gotten out at the last light, I would have and just walked home because I was just done with all of this.
Seems like a long way because Tallahassee's 40 minutes away from home.
He'd still do it. They'd probably pass him going home after skating and just be like, hey, Ethan, need a ride? Well,
they'd offer him a ride. He'd be like, no.
Right. And like, I'm done with this.
I'm sure that would happen if production crew went to give him a ride.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, and he was, and he's like, whenever she asked him what he sees as a successful and happy life, and he talks about, being secure financially and all this stuff, and she's like, well, you didn't mention me. Yeah. Our marriage being in a good place, and yada, 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 yada. And he's like, I didn't say anything because I just didn't want to argue. Yeah.
So what'd that mean? That means we're not in a good place.
Because he knows that everything he says is going to be an argument. No wonder he sits there like a stone little statue, just sitting there going, yes, Olivia. Yes, Olivia.
Brainwashed,
And then she says that Tallahassee, which is 40 minutes to an hour away from where they live now, is a huge compromise on her part. And she says, a quote, she can't do a small town close to your parents.
I just don't know. I don't know.
And I'm like,
I don't know what else to say anymore.
They don't see them. They don't see the siblings out and about anywhere.
Because, it's a different episode and it's the same crap from Olivia every episode.
She's worse than a 3-year-old. Repeat, mom. You know
how much entertaining an episode would be? I mean, it would be entertaining without Olivia in it one time. Just to see the dad and the mom and how they're interacting with the family.
And everybody's happy and joking and getting along and enjoying themselves.
I'd like to have an episode like that once.
Well, maybe we'll get it. You just never know.
You never know. I doubt it.
And then I made another observation. And I said in the last episode that poor Ethan needs a new truck.
Yeah.
Or a new vehicle or something because that one was having a rough time. But then this episode, Olivia has a really nice new car. And whatever, they were driving in her nice new car on the way to the skating rink, of course.
She travels a lot though, and she drives a lot of places though.
But she also travels by airplane a lot.
Depends. Yeah.
Anyway,
No, I see what you're saying.
and he jumps out as soon as they get there,
Mhm.
and just he's like, he goes off to see his siblings because he's just like, I can't with you anymore. I can't. I got nothing to say. Everything I say is nitpicked and wrong, and I'm. And then she sits in the car with her hand between her thighs, like, poor me. He just went off without me. Why does he do that? Why, she even says she doesn't know why he's so moody. And I'm just like,
Maybe
this
she
is a
does.
direct quote. She says, Ethan was really moody and I didn't know what to do.
Maybe she.
Maybe you should shut your fucking cake hole, okay?
Maybe somebody needs to tell her that.
And stop nitpicking and dragging that poor dude down. Just let him be himself for a little while. Love him for who he is or divorce him.
Let him go
Gosh
free.
darn it. That she makes me so damn mad. Oh, anyway. Next up, they're roller skating. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so, of course, Ethan was being moody off, trying to like shake off that mood because they were just had this whole thing and the whole way there. And he was trying to calm down so we could have some fun. And Olivia plays damsel in distress, like, oh, I can't skate. Help me, Ethan. Help me. And so she gets to be the damsel and he gets to be the hero that saves her.
He was totally different in the skating rink. And he even admits it. He needs to have more fun because he's a different person when he has more fun. So he was that person.
Yeah, he said Olivia makes him try new things and do fun things that he wouldn't do without her.
And he's stubborn.
So, and it's a lot like you and I think both of the kids anymore. Like, I think of these great ideas of fun things to do, and everybody's like, no. And I'm like, come on, man. I don't ever have to go anywhere. I want to do this as a family. And you're like, fine, okay, for mom. And then y'all show up and have a blast.
Okay.
It's obnoxious. Just PSA.
Okay.
Okay. I love you.
Love you.
Sorry. But it's like, that's like him, you gotta force me to do stuff and then he has fun. Anyway. Do you remember the days when you could fall 40 times
Like Mariah?
and not want to die and that you could actually get up and keep doing it and laugh about it?
She probably had a bunch of black and blue marks on her body when next day.
No, Mariah cannot skate. She is not a
I don't think she's
physically inclined person.
I don't think she's athletic, yeah.
But why would she wear that short of a skirt? And I know it looks like she has shorts on, but they're boy short panties.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you literally showed your butt to America. And Mariah, I love you, and I know you want to look cute and everything, especially with Max and all. But
you're on camera.
Yeah, like I don't know if she didn't realize that might happen. I don't know, but I'm just like, do better, girl.
Yeah.
We know you got better in you. And then Olivia takes Ethan over to a quiet corner and like
they talk.
Why are you being like this? And blah blah. And he apologizes.
Then Olivia will never change.
And I'm just like, I couldn't even make notes about it. I was just like, he apologized again.
Yeah.
And then I did write, poor mistreated Olivia. Everybody's mean to her. And it's really sad because, Micah and Olivia do have more in common than she and Ethan do. And Micah says on their way to their photo shoot that Ethan's always hated change. And that someone else said that too. I think Ken maybe did before. Well, that Ethan has always hated change.
The auto mechanic said that too. Remember him and Ethan?
Yeah.
Ethan even said that to the mechanic guy.
Yeah. And Olivia says that she wouldn't want to be married to somebody like her. She'd want to kill them. Yeah. She needs somebody that challenges her. And Ethan does. And I wish he would more. He may challenge her, but then he caves.
Like he did on the skating rink.
You know, it's like, come on, dude. I just want to give him a bro talk, you know, and just pep him up a bit.
You got to be a bro first.
I had brothers and enough boy cousins. I know what a bro talk is. Anyway.
So you mean you want to talk to season 3, Ethan, not season 5?
I don't know, maybe both. I think, I don't know. I don't recall that far.
We're still on season 3, and
yeah,
season
I know.
5 is airing. We're way behind.
But I think that season 3 is still inside season 5, Ethan. So maybe that guy needs a little bro talk too.
Maybe.
Okay. Anyway, so they were doing the photo shoot for the supposedly for a Humane Society calendar. Micah was the supposed prop when they took, you know, different, every month was different animals or whatever.
Didn't like it.
And she called her brother-in-law a thirst trap.
First of all, if it's for the Humane Society, a dude shouldn't be in there. It should just be of animals.
Right? That's the one we buy.
Not a half-naked dude.
That's why I'm like, maybe it's just for like the local one or something. I would like, if you work for the Humane Society in Southern Georgia, or wherever the heck this Humane Society calendar is supposed to be, let me know. Did that actually happen? Did it actually make you any money, or is it just for the show? Let us know, y'all.
Yeah, because there's no reason for Micah to be even in that.
Yeah, it's just making up stuff for the show because it's COVID.
Yep.
And then Lydia was talking to Kim about her boy attraction.
Yeah.
And she decided to take her parents' advice. They didn't force her to, but she took the advice of not having any direct contact for a few months.
She's fasting.
Yes, she equated it to fasting. But it's getting difficult now because it's been a while.
Yeah.
Which, you know, that's, you know, usually what happens.
I hate to say it, at that age, we all got hormones.
Well, and again, if you only know so many boys,
yeah,
like 2 or 3 of them, you pick the best of the bunch and hope for the best. Maybe, I don't know.
I guess it's like when you're living in the apocalypse, right? And you only have so many people to choose from.
It's true.
You know, like Walking Dead, I don't think Mag would ever pick Glenn if there was no apocalypse.
Well, they wouldn't be the same people they were in the apocalypse either.
No, but I mean...
So, probably not.
Yeah, they would never...
Anyway, we always get off track. Back to the Plath. Are y'all? I'm so sorry.
Back to the Plath.
Anyway, and then Mariah tells Olivia about working on booking a gig.
Uh-huh.
And then Olivia, of course, inserts herself and offers to play keyboard. And she was like, Micah can play the guitar and they can be a band.
She's volunteering everybody.
And
as long as the parents don't come.
Yeah, Mariah said that she thinks Olivia will, and these are almost direct quotes, organize and whip things together better than she can. And in my words, Olivia can take control. Am I right?
Yep. That's what Olivia wants.
Yeah, just take it over and do her thing.
Yep.
But immediately, upon offering to play in be in this band with her, she asks if her parents, their parents, will be there. And whenever Mariah says maybe, because she really wants everyone there. Yeah. And Olivia is such a hypocritical, two-faced, straight-up lion hoe when she says, well, I'm not going to make you choose. I'm not going to ask you to choose. But I can't be in the band if your parents will be there. And then 2 minutes later, it shows in a little thing where she's saying, well, I'm not trying to tell you that you can't, that if I'm in the band, they can't be there. But if I'm in the band, they can't be there.
Yeah, I'm not saying nothing. This is just ridiculous.
Anywho, y'all. That's what I think about that.
Plus, I know Olivia gets worse as the seasons go on, so.
And right now, Mariah's like, okay, cool, because I need someone with me on stage because I'm young and nervous, and this is like my first thing. Singing my own songs in public. So having someone there that she knows and trusts is like a comfort thing. And so I can see that. So at this point, she's like, that's fine. Mom and Dad and all the siblings can come at later time or whatever. Whatever. Even though Mariah wants them there.
And it's going to break the heart.
Yeah, it's gonna. I see
He's gonna
a
put more
storm of
division. He's
brewing.
gonna put more division in the family and that's what Olivia wants.
I see a storm of brewing.
That's what Olivia wants. She
Yeah.
wants more division in that family. Mariah's getting too close to her family again.
Yep.
Mike is getting too close to his family again.
Yep.
So Olivia's like, okay, I got Ethan where I want him. Now I'm gonna try to get Micah and Mariah where I want them, away from the family.
And dependent on me.
And then soon, Lydia's gonna be next.
Yeah, because she was pretty insistent in that last episode that Lydia come over.
But you know what? Lydia wasn't having enough. She doesn't want to be. She don't care about.
She's not an Olivia bandwagon.
No, she don't. She cares about Ethan, and that's it. She don't care about Olivia.
True. Okay. That is the end of season 3, episode 4 of Welcome to Plathville. Now we are going to do one of the extras. Barry's
Sorry.
Barry's story. I knew you were going to do that, you peckerwood. Anyway.
It's Barry's story, y'all.
It is Barry's story. Last episode, at the end, we did Kim's story.
Yeah, what you do?
Just the interesting details that you wouldn't get if you only watched the show.
There's a little bit on here about Kim that we didn't know until this little extra.
Exactly. That's why every tidbit that they add up.
Even as boring as they are, you still watched.
Barry grew up on a dairy farm in Minnesota. His parents and brother. And that was his whole life. That's all he really knew until he went to college.
His dad was also an alcoholic.
We don't know. It didn't say it was his dad. It was just someone in the family.
Oh, okay. Sorry. But that's where him and Kim have stuff in common.
Yeah. Well, we're getting to that.
Yeah. Sorry. I didn't mean to jump on.
No, you're okay. You're good.
Leapfrog.
But when he was in college, his dad sold the herd, the dairy cow herd. And so, I mean, again, that was a huge change in like, oh, I'm not a farm boy anymore.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have a dairy farm anymore. And he stayed away from alcohol, and they have the alcohol rule, not only because of Kim's alcoholic parents, but because he just said there was a family influence with alcohol, something like that, a family member issues with alcohol. All through high school and college, you know, he was a good boy, but then in grad school, he found the party scene for a while, I guess. And then he found God.
Just like that.
So he went from good boy to party boy to
godly boy.
Yeah. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm glad he found God. No, that's a very, very good thing.
There's got to be something in between the partying and the God. Okay?
Something had to have happened, you'd think. Yeah. That would facilitate something like that.
Yeah, you don't just go from partying to God.
But then he reveals that Kim was a nanny in Virginia for a while.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Right. While Barry was in Tallahassee. So, and his parents, you know, they used to live in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And then he was feeling lonely. It was his birthday. And then Kim's package arrived.
I think we did cover
that was in Kim's story. And obviously they very, very shortly after that got married when Barry was 29.
Yeah, well, what an old geezer, 29, getting married.
Well, it was marriage number 2 for Barry.
True. I forgot about the one that was 4 years before.
And they talked about how Barry got to have a interactive experience with their births.
Oh, yeah.
With 10 children, obviously, there's going to be different situations. And unfortunately, Ethan was an emergency C-section. Mariah was born on a stormy night in August before the midwife arrived. So she and Barry were like...
This will explain, like, their personalities.
And here's the thing. Barry's just, like, standing there with his mouth gaping open. And she's, like, just picking up the baby and putting it on her chest. And she's like, is the midwife here yet?
You know, Ethan didn't want to be born. Remember that? So
he was stubborn. He liked it where he was.
Yeah, he
didn't want to change it.
And now, at this point in time, he doesn't want to be with the parents. So that says something. Okay? Mariah was born early in a stormy night. So that says something about
Not early, just quickly.
Quickly. In a stormy night.
And she always liked to do things fast.
Exactly. So that tells something about her mentality.
Lydia was being stubborn about being born, and they thought maybe there was going to be another Ethan kind of emergency C-section. So they decided to take her. I guess they have a little cute birth cottage.
Cottage, yep.
On
Yeah,
the
hit the bumps.
properties, so a special place for when you get to an active labor, I guess, you go there. Well, that little trip made her happen.
Yeah.
So she didn't even get to the cottage. So I think that one was great because that's when she bit Barry in the leg and, let him have some of the pain this time.
Yeah.
Joshua was also born en route, I guess, to the cottage.
That's sad.
So it's like they have all these great memories together of these experiences that you would not have, in a hospital setting.
So how many kids are there?
Alive 9.
So, and with them 11. Okay, with the parents.
Yes.
So if Josh would have survived,
Yeah.
okay, they would have 12 altogether.
Yeah.
So it'd be like cheaper by the dozen.
Sort of, yeah.
Except there was 14 of them altogether.
Yeah,
parents.
because they had 12
Okay.
kids. Yeah.
Okay.
And as he said, they agreed to the homeschool thing before they even got married, so they were on the same page there. And his philosophy is guide them, help them, see what happens.
Guide them, help them, ship them out.
I read it, but they don't ever want them to leave. That's the
No.
thing. They want them to stay and be safe
No, I mean they might
as
want
long
to
as
leave,
possible.
They might want them to leave at a certain age. I think Mariah was a little young when she left. Micah too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
And we found out that Barry's job, I knew it had something to do with traffic analysis and traffic forecasting, but his actual job title is travel demand forecasting. And I think that's very cool. Because not only is it about traffic, but about billboard placement and ad placement and, income and revenue and things like that. So I think that's cool. And Kim handles, I guess from the first episodes back from the beginning, she said she was a doctor of neuropathy. No, neuropathy.
Neuropathy.
Naturopathy.
Naturopathy.
That's what it was, something like that. And she also is in charge of all their rental properties and things. And Barry says towards the end there, he says that Ethan is transformed into someone bitter and resentful towards me. And he says love has got to prevail.
But he never says anything about Barry in the episodes. It's always the mom. It's always Kim.
Yes. And even though, as we mentioned several times in the other episodes, Barry was the main instigator in the instances where
He's the one that
he
doesn't
has
like,
issues with how Olivia was treated.
he does not like Olivia. Barry.
Right.
I don't think.
But it's always he blames the mom for like brainwashing him and telling him what to think, as if Barry isn't
His own person?
Yeah, and like he's not a stubborn, has his own opinions and ain't afraid to tell him
White guy. Mm-hmm.
kind of person.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't think you know your dad very well, dude. And I think you just don't want to be mad at him because he wasn't the one that was there on the day-to-day dishing out, homework and punishments or,
You think something happened between Ethan and Kim earlier in life that we don't know about? That's coming forth now?
No, I really don't. I think it's all about
Olivia?
Olivia telling him how awful they were for sheltering him and yada yada. But that was Barry's story as far as we know it so far. I'm sure we'll get more tidbits and other extras. I hope you guys are enjoying this series about Welcome to Plathville. Come back and see us next time when we cover Season 3, Episode 5.
Bye, y'all.
Please be kind, guys.
Subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.